Welcome back, students. So let's now have a look at a very simple payback period type calculation. And just as a reminder, the payback period is simply the amount of time it takes for you to get your money back after your initial investment into the project. So let's begin. You are looking at opening up a gym. The initial costs are $165,000, and you anticipate that you'll be able to generate $63,120 in cash flow in year one, $70,800 in year 2, and $91,080 in year 3. You require a payback period of 2.5 years as you need the money for another investment. So in order to calculate the payback period for this project, the first thing that we need to do is lay out our cash flows. Once we've done that, we want to work out our cash flow balance, which is just the total amount of cash flow that we've generated from the business minus the initial cash injection. And the reason we want to calculate the cash flow balance is because the point at which the balance goes from a negative number to a positive number is the point at which we have paid off our initial cash investment. So you'll see what I mean in a sec. So the very first thing that I'm going to do is lay out my cash flows. So I'm going to create 3 columns, name years, the cash flows that we've generated in that particular year, and our balance. Okay, and the balance is just the total cash flows that we've generated up to that point in time minus our initial cash injection. So in terms of years, we have year 0, 1, 2, and 3. In year 0, we spent $165,000. So our cash flow is negative $165,000 to represent that we spent money to start this particular project and to open the gym. In year 1, 2, and 3, we've generated some money, so we have a positive cash flow. So in year 1, we have $63,120. In year 2, we have $70,800, and in year 3, we have $91,080. Okay, and these are positive cash flows to represent that the business is generating money. Okay, so in terms of balance in year 0, we have a starting balance of negative $165,000. Okay, and that makes sense because in year 0, when we begin this project, we haven't made any money yet, and the balance should just represent what we paid to get this project started. In year 1, the balance should be reduced because we generated $63,120 in cash. So our balance is now negative $165,000 plus the cash flow that we generated in that year, which is $63,120. And if you evaluate this term here, you should get negative $101,880. Okay? So in year 2 and 3, we just have to repeat this process until we find that this balance goes from a negative number to a positive number. So you can see here that it's still negative, which means we still have to continue the process. So for year 2, it's negative $101,880 plus the cash flow that we generated in that year, which is $70,800. So you should get a balance of negative $31,080 for year 2. In year 3, it's negative $31,080, so the cash flow balance from the previous year, plus the cash flow, right, that was generated within that year, which is $91,080. And what we find is that in year 3, the cash flow balance is $60,000. Okay, so in year 3, we've finally got a cash flow balance that is a positive number, which means that between year 2 and 3, so the year at which it goes from a negative number to a positive number, between these 2 years is when our payback period has occurred, or our payback for this project has occurred. So we know it's between year 2 and 3. And to work out the exact figure between these 2 years, we can use fractions. Okay, and you'll see what I mean in a sec. So the payback period we know is between year 2 and year 3. Okay, so the payback period is equal to 2 plus some time just before year 3. Okay, and to work out the fraction, you take the last negative balance, the last negative cash flow balance, which in this case is negative $31,080. So $31,080 is the last negative cash flow balance that we have, right, in this in the cash flow balance that we've calculated, and then we divide it by the cash flow of the following year. So the cash flow generated in the following year is $91,080. Okay, And this will work out the exact fraction between year 2 and 3 at which the payback period occurred. Okay, assuming that you receive your cash flow relatively evenly throughout the year. So if you evaluate this term, you get 2.34 years. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, if we're ignoring the time value of money, what this means is that if you start this particular project, in terms of a total lump sum figure amount or the dollar amount, you will receive your initial investment back in 2.34 years. So if the cutoff period is 2.5 years, should we accept this project? Yes, we should accept this project. Okay, so we should accept this project because the payback period of this project is less than our pre-specified benchmark or cutoff of 2.5 years, and a lower payback period is generally good. Okay, so that's it, guys.